Fast Wednesday post-election, live from the Trustmark studios of the Gallo Show, and thank you for joining us, folks. Past time to remodel a room or two. Trustmark will fit your plans and your dreams to a T. Check them out. Trustmark, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Kelly Bennett joins us, multimedia journalist, SuperTalk News. Good morning, Kelly. How are you?
Good morning. I'm good. How about you guys?
Good. Can you hear me? Everything okay there?
I can hear you. Kind of bummed out that I didn't win the Mega Millions jackpot. Some guy in Jupiter, Florida got it.
Yeah.
So here we are at work.
all of us were. I did hit a number. What was it? Last week, bought a $3 ticket, the $2 with the extra $1, and I got the Powerball, and it was worth $2, so I almost got my money back. So yeah. I mean that's a pretty stretch. It wasn't the billion, but it was only $2. But all I got to do now is work on the part in the middle. We've got to take care of. Those are the kind of wins
that I get. Like, I'm hoping for the smaller jackpots when I play, but I get like $4 here, $2 there.
Yeah. We had somebody who scratched a card, a $20 card yesterday. Well, he came to the office yesterday when we do our reports in the morning. $400,000 on a $20 card. So nice. I haven't seen those kind of scratch-offs. So, all right, let's talk specifically, and by the way, you do such a great job. Enjoy your news in the morning and being part of the team. It is professional all the way, and we do thank you so very much. I do want to ask you this. The sheriff's race down there, I was a little complicated when I was trying to do some show prep on that this morning. You had the incumbent one, and then somebody explained that to me.
The incumbent
in Hancock County.
You want Hancock County? I expected you to say Harrison County, honestly.
Maybe it was Harrison. Maybe it was Harrison County.
I've got all three coastal counties, so here, I'll just give you the rundown. Hancock County first. The voters reelected Sheriff Ricky Adam in the Republican primary. Okay. He defeated 3 other Republican candidates, so he'll serve another 4 years. In Jackson County, when former Jackson County Sheriff Mike Ezell was sworn into Congress, John Ledbetter was chosen to serve the remainder of his term. Mm-hmm. He beat out 3 competitors in the primaries. And then the one that got a little heated was the Harrison County Sheriff's race. Matt Haley beat out Louis Elias in that race. So he's going to fill the shoes of Sheriff Troy Peterson, who announced his retirement in December after serving 30 years with the department. And our news team caught up with Haley last night. Here's what he had to say.
The current Sheriff, Troy Peterson, has laid a great foundation. We're going to build on what he's already started. I'm not going to come in and turn the agency upside down. I just think that's going to cause problems doing that. We've got some goals that we're going to achieve that seem to be easy goals, and we're prepared to do that on day one.
And, folks on the coast really liked Troy Peterson, and I believe he endorsed Haley.
So and that was the one I was talking about. Instead of retiring before the election, or just retiring and when everybody is sworn in, he decided to, in January is when everybody's sworn in. But I guess what I'm saying is that was Harrison County, not Hancock County, or was it Hancock, not Harrison? Okay.
It was Harrison.
I got confused on that one. But then again, I didn't go to bed till 11 o'clock, and I got up at 2:30. So I'm surprised I'm even here.
Confused. Easy. We're trying to keep up with a lot.
You could probably say this, vouch for me on this one. This is the worst time for people who do the early morning show, because all of that stuff rolls in at night, on election night, and you get up and you try to grasp it all. And when you're doing it on a statewide basis, it's hit and miss one way or the other.
So you and I share that, because that's basically what I did this morning. I come in and I'm like, okay, what do I have from last night? It's here, and sorting through it all and trying to get it up to date. A couple of other interesting sheriff's races. Do you want to talk about those, or
Absolutely.
You want to move on to something else? Thomas Tuggle became the second black man to be elected sheriff in DeSoto County. I loved his quote after he won. I thought this was great. He's a military vet and a former Mississippi Highway Patrol lieutenant colonel. And he basically told his supporters, DeSoto County is no longer black or white. It's red, white, and blue.
Ooh.
I just thought that was a great quote. Yeah.
I just got a text from Thomas also, who's been a guest on the show numerous times, and I look forward to having him back on here. But congratulations to him as a African-American Republican in that race, which is, it can be done. Any surprises? Was the Dane Maxwell race a surprise to you?
That was my only surprise. And I really thought he had name recognition. He's already served. People on the coast really know who Dane Maxwell is. And, yeah, that was pretty shocking.
Former Mayor Pascagoula, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, and then that was really the only surprise. I don't know if you heard this. An unusual story. So we're trying to get everybody to get out and vote yesterday. Somebody crashed a car into a voting precinct in Ocean Springs. Did you hear about this?
No, I didn't.
The victim had to be treated for their injuries, but they did. It was the precinct at Grace Baptist Church, and it did remain open until the polls closed. But can you imagine going out to vote yesterday and running into something like that?
I think they abridged that 150-foot limit, did they not?
You're right.
Let me read you this one from 601. Here in the Pine Belt, we mounted campaign against Dane Maxwell because he was proud to sign for his second and third solar farm. We don't want them. How can they all get approved without general population knowing anything about them? So that's been a part of contention for some people in our state. And I guess that's going to also play into the Brandon Presley story out there also. But your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm starting to hear a little bit about that. Well, here's what I think, Paul. This stuff is being pushed on us from the feds. Is it not? It's the green energy thing. So I think in the case of some of these public service commission districts, maybe they don't have a choice. And maybe they feel like they're doing the best thing they can for the state of Mississippi. I don't know.
Well, we're smarter than the average bear when it comes to it, as far as politics also across Mississippi, or more, I should say, than people give us credit for. But one of the problems we have is this is not going through the checks and balances of the marketplace. Case in point, story here.
Kamala Harris was in Philadelphia talking about her most cherished thing.
Workers are building electric buses so people can get where they need to go.
What the vice president didn't tell you was America's biggest electric bus company just went belly up. The company's called Proterra, and it filed for bankruptcy this week. It was the company that was supposed to eradicate diesel. Taxpayers were funding it, and now the money's gone.
Well,
we don't know where the money went.
How much?
But we do know this bankrupt electric bus company had access to at least $8 billion.
We ought to be the single most significant suppliers of electric buses and vehicles in the world. You guys are getting us in the game. It's going to make a lot of difference.
Well, now they're out of the game because the company was a scam. In California, the buses caught on fire. In Philly, they broke down. And in Alaska, the batteries froze in the cold. And in Minnesota, they stalled out on the hills. The wheels on the bus do not go round and round. So why would the Democrats invest so much political capital and taxpayer capital in a broken electric bus company?
Here's the answer.
Because it was a pump and dump scheme.
That's it.
Al Gore had millions invested in the company while he was lobbying the White House to herald it. George Soros had over $20 million invested in Proterra. Jennifer Granholm, Biden's energy secretary, sat on the company's board. She held stock in Proterra while she was secretary, and then sold it for about $1.5 million. Reports say Proterra insiders dumped their stock before the company went bankrupt.
And nobody goes to jail.
Well, I don't know if you've heard either, but the barges that they're moving these electric cars on are catching on fire. And I've heard, I think it was Sean Tyndall who has been on SuperTalk in the past, and EVs was the topic of one conversation, and they were talking about using emergency vehicles in EVs. And he was like, what do you do during a hurricane when there's no power and you can't recharge your vehicle and you're trying to make emergency vehicles electric? It makes no sense. And now they're talking about, if you really want to, I'm concerned they're trying to make military vehicles electric. How the heck is that going to work, Paul?
It's not. And that's just like the bus company. It's not going to work. So, and we're having to put up with this until the grown-ups move to Washington. I hope that's sooner than later. Kelly, always a pleasure. Don't be a stranger. Thank you so very much. See you tomorrow morning early, okay?
You bet.
Kelly
Thanks
Bennett,
a lot, guys.
Multimedia Journalist, SuperTalk Mississippi. We got final segment, and Lance's Loose Ends coming up next.